will not be available at Hallis Hall. Free fan parking will be available at Hawthorne off Town Line Road.
Joe Gaither's live.
Oh, are we? Okay. Oh, sorry, I was on my other tab.
I caught you talking, and I decided to start recording. So you're giving us some valuable information.
Oh yeah. Welcome in.
Where to park?
This is the Chicago Bears Believe in Monsters podcast, the official podcast of the Chicago Bears, right here at BIM_pod for all your Bears information. My man Lucas Berry and Chris Krogman hanging out with yours truly, Joe Gaither, and welcome into another episode. We are, 48 hours from practice? Oh gosh, 48 hours away from practice. Chicago Bears already reporting. And, we've got news that kind of came out on Sunday and more news that came out today. It's Monday, so we're going to have a great week and going to have a great episode. Thanks to Lucas and Chris holding it down last week. Make sure you go follow them at lberry_40 at Shy Bears 1985. And, of course, the podcast is on BIM_pod. We are a proud part of the Believe Network. Thank you so much to the Believe Network for putting us on each and every week. 48 hours away from training camp. Chicago Bears rolling into Hallis Hall. Lucas Berry, we've had a little bit of time. No Chase Claypool. Yes, Chase Claypool. Pup list, off the pup list. How's your week going, man? Good to see you.
Well, we are recording on a new day. It's only Monday, so it's going to be a new pattern getting into the weekend and then the first day of the week. Today was busy, very busy. I had to take a big nap before this episode because I was beat from today and from this weekend. I had some of my childhood friends up here in Salem for the weekend, so we had fun. We went to the Red Sox game where we got downpoured on after 3 innings.
Oh, man.
Waiting for an Uber. I had water almost up to my knees on the sidewalk, so that was crazy. And then we found out that the MLB policy or Red Sox policy is that you have to go to the game that was postponed, so we couldn't go the next day. So we lost out on our tickets and only got to see 3 innings of baseball and got stuck at Fenway during a rainstorm where they surge priced the shit out of everyone trapped inside. Like horrible people. What else happened? My brother qualified for the national powerlifting in his age group at 20 years old. So he had his meet on Saturday and we watched it live on YouTube. So that was pretty sweet. He'll be in Memphis in a few weeks competing for a national medal for his age group in powerlifting. So that was pretty sweet. And obviously this week we have the Bears. So I've been busy. I am ready. How are you guys?
Wonderful. Joe, did you give out your Twitter handle? Don't forget to follow at Joe Gaither 6. Just found out what the 6 means. He loves Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
The greatest quarterback in Chicago Bears history until this year.
Is that when you got Twitter, Joe, when he was quarterback? He made it number 6.
No, actually, the real truth is the original Twitter was my AIM, my AOL username, Joe G0011, JJG, something like that, and I lost access to that somehow. I don't know why. And then when I tried to restart it, I couldn't just do Joe Gaither. I actually know a different Joe Gaither. He went to my high school, and so I think he got the original Joe Gaither. And I think 6 was just what was suggested to me by the Twitter people, and I've just kept it ever since. But yeah, go Jay Cutler.
I know a Joe Gaither. It was odd when Lucas and I were talking about the podcast and whatnot. He's like, "Oh yeah, my co-host Joe Gaither." I was like, there's no way it's that Joe Gaither, right? He's not a Bears fan. I'm 90% sure he's a Packers fan, which makes me want to puke. But anyway, I'm wonderful. This week is going to be exciting. I'm already preparing myself for the overreaction of Bears fans, whether it be
where's the edge rusher?
Twitter or Lucas firing off texts or
I didn't say anything.
You said lots of things.
I didn't say
lots of things. I can read it if you want.
Oh, nope. That's another Luke Bear that I went to high school with.
That seems like a more common name than Joe Gaither, if we're being honest.
So I went to school with my high school had like 1,200 kids in my class alone. And in my homeroom, there was no one else named Lucas Berry. So I know that there was no one there for a fact in my grade.
That doesn't mean it wasn't in your high school.
It's 1 out of 3 grades. I don't know. I think the probability of someone having the same exact name as you has got to be pretty low.
Super low. There's an English soccer player named Luke Berry. There's a minor league baseball player named, that's Barry Hill. That's not as good.
Now type in Luke Berry, North Penn, and you'll see me. On the Google machine.
At high school? Is that your high school? The 12th Night. Anyway,
that was our school newspaper.
Let's talk Bears.
Let's talk berries.
Yeah. So, like I said, very well prepared for people to freak out, flip out. Do we need to add an edge rusher? Probably. If we don't, is it the end of the world? No. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited for camp to start, though. Start seeing what these guys are bringing, gelling. See which side of the ball is winning practice, which really means nothing. But Joe, what are you looking forward to?
Well, just to follow on your comment, if we sign an edge rusher or not, can we all just be honest with ourselves? Al-Qadim Muhammad, we didn't really have an edge rusher last year. So, come on. We didn't really have great production last year off the edge. Sure, you got a little Travis Gibson in one game, but, we're in the same boat. And does it stink? Yeah. But what am I excited about? I'm pumped for real news. I'm pumped to see the defense with Tremaine Edmunds kind of see how he, assimilate, see how he brings some leadership, his style to the defense. I want to see the defense take that step forward. Now, we've talked about it at length on the show about the run defense and the interior defense and obviously the edge rushers. But I think the defense has a lot of potential to move forward and at least play a lot better pass defense. I'm pumped to hear about Brisker, about Eddie Jackson, about the corners all being a little bit better. So that's kind of where I'm at. Lucas?
I want to see some footage, man. That's what I'm most looking forward to. I love the training camp footage, as Chris alluded to. There's always going to be overreaction, underreaction, whatever. But I do eat up the footage when they allow people at camp. I think there's an open day of practice immediately the first week, I think toward the end of the week. So I just love when that kind of stuff comes out. Remember to follow your local beat reporters like Adam Hoge and Adam Johns and guys like that who are going to be there all the time covering the Bears, talking about them on their podcast as well. I know those guys take a lot of unwarranted heat, but I would say they're about as unbiased as they come. So,
yeah, and if you want, Greg Braggs is going to find a way to get footage and follow the rest of the guys at CHGO.
Yeah, CHGO guys. Yep.
They're fantastic as well. What did you say, Joseph? To our friend of the podcast, Raul's points earlier about Matt Eberflus's defense is he's never really had an elite pass rusher. I think the stat is none of his defenses have had more than 6 sacks out of one dude, or maybe that was just Indianapolis, and that was a top 10 defense multiple years. So
turnover machines.
Maybe it's just not in the cards, or maybe it just wasn't that much of a pressing position of need in Indianapolis those years. I think we all love to see sacks, though. I love to see edge rushers get that bend and hit a dude in the back and cause a fumble.
Your analytics nerds will tell you, though, that pass coverage is more important than pass rush. So, obviously they go hand in hand, but
it helps to have a DeForest Buckner on your team, too.
Doesn't hurt. Yeah, but he wasn't there for all of the Eberflus. He only didn't he just get there 3 years ago?
2020 on the Colts, he had 9.5 sacks. 2021, he had 7. But yeah, I think outside of him, I really don't think they have like an elite pass rusher, and I wouldn't really consider. Buckner's an elite player, and a very good pass rusher from the middle, but I wouldn't say he's like, a crazy. I don't know. Would you guys consider Buckner an elite pass rusher?
No. That's not like 12 to 15. It's not like Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt. That's not like elite from the D tackle position.
Yeah. I'm just not trying to sell him short, I guess. But your point stands, Chris.
No, he's not bad at all. At all. Don't get me wrong. He's more than welcome to defect and come to Chicago. But I just love seeing guys come off the edge. I mean, this team has had its fair share of successful defensive linemen, from Hampton to Julius Peppers and everybody in between. So would love to see another beast on the line. Maybe that's Gervon Dexter. Who knows? That'd be awesome. That guy turns out to be an absolute animal. Maybe Rasheem Green.
Do you guys think there's like almost a time ticking on them trying to add an edge rusher? Like, do you think it has to happen this week, or do you think it's possible they could come to terms down the line?
If there's time ticking, the time bomb has exploded. That should have.
That's what I mean. It's just it's pretty insane to me.
There's any rush to it at all. Because now the players control it. Now the players are just like deciding when they want to come in. Yeah, I'm sure maybe the Bears have talked to people, but we don't know. We have no fucking clue.
We've seen a lot of rumors. That's all I can say.
We've seen a lot of gifts that got people all in a tizzy that meant absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I've seen other places that had small droppings of rumors too, for whatever it's worth. But yeah, nobody knows anything.
Like legit rumors or like NFL rumors?
Yeah, like random pages.
Like that guy. I love it. I love it. Well, our boy Usaid Kashul should be dropping knowledge, calling himself Scoops Kashul over there. Should be dropping some fucking heaters if you're gonna, christen yourself a Scoops. Want to hear some news?
I was just a nickname for him.
So you still got Clowney, Yannick Ngakoue. I mean, is this still up to date? Yeah, this is up to date as of July 23rd. I'm getting Trey Flowers, Kyle Van Noy, Justin Houston. I mean, a bunch of old guys: Melvin Ingram, Carlos Dunlap, our old friend Robert Quinn. Ooh. Oh, Al-Qadim Muhammad, he's gone. He just went back to the Colts. But here's the thing: Ngakoue and Clowney, they might be your answers, but they're not wanting to Chris's point. They're not going to come into camp and do 15 days of training camp.
Probably not.
Are they not real men, Joe, for not showing up to camp?
I mean,
that's a young man's game.
Exactly.
They've got their bodies in shape. They're ready to go. Think about Jason Peters, man. Dude was 39 years old. Was like, I'll show up tomorrow when I'm done fishing, and we'll be all right. And they were fine.
I feel like nobody got more days off of practice than Jimmy Graham. That day of rest. It was like every other freaking day with that guy.
Yeah, for a guy that actually, talk about unlimited PTO. A lot of companies out there have that now. And Jimmy Graham had that and also didn't produce, I have unlimited PTO at my job, but I have to produce.
What a weird signing that was. Just like, oh, here's Jimmy Graham, the corpse of Jimmy Graham.
I think the worst part about that was when he retired and they still had him on the payroll. That sucked.
How many touchdowns did he score with us? 3?
3 or something.
Oh, dude, it's 10, man.
Oh yeah, he had a good final down the stretch, didn't he?
I don't remember him at all. I mean, they pretty much just exclusively used him in the red zone, but
yeah, but didn't he score 3 in a game?
You might be right. I don't even know. I feel like that whole it's just kind of a blur, man. Let's see.
It's really not that long ago. You're a young
all right. So yeah, he went with touchdown. Let's see, game logs. Right. Come on, damn it. Give me your game logs, Jimmy. Game logs from 2021 was his most recent year with the Bears. He had 3 touchdowns in 2021. But in 2020, that was his first year with the Bears, right? And then, he ended up with 8 touchdowns.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. It's not bad.
8 touchdowns. His first year, 50 receptions, 456 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Second year, much worse. Second year, 14 receptions, 167 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's kind of all I remember him. I kind of forgot his 2020 was that solid. Because he was, his last few years at Green Bay, he only had 2 and 3 touchdowns, so 8 was a good welcome sign. Whatever. This ain't the Jimmy Graham show. This is the Believe in Monsters podcast.
Let's go into the little bit of news. You had everybody explode and lose their mind, whether Luke wants to admit it or not, over Chase Claypool getting thrown on the PUP list, and then the next morning, 24 hours later, he is removed from the PUP list. It seems like maybe there was some sort of designation or reason. There had to be a reason to get thrown on the PUP list, but the fact of the matter is, he will be available for the first practice. Lucas Berry, are we feeling good? Everybody's there. Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, the receiving core is ready to go.
Mooney's not there.
Mooney is.
I thought they said he wasn't going to practice.
Oh, let me double check. Keep going.
Well, what if they put Claypool back on the PUP list tomorrow?
Then make me sad.
No, seriously,
What if you shave your beard tonight? Are we just throwing out random hypotheticals? What if the Nuggets win another championship next year?
Most recent Darnell Mooney update comes 2 weeks ago from WGN Chicago. Mooney says, "I'm feeling good. I'm ready to roll. You can't really do too much rehabbing my ankle, especially with Eddie Jackson. It says he's ready for training camp."
If he wasn't ready, they'd probably put him on the PUP list, I assume.
What I'm like dead serious. Why the hell did Claypool have to go on and back off? Do you think there's some sort of transactional thing, some sort of contract thing, some sort of what if it's an insurance thing? The Bears took out an insurance policy, and for whatever reason, he had to go on the PUP at least one time this year for it to be active. I have no freaking clue why that would happen. 1 in and 1 out. Just seems so random.
Yeah, the only thing I could think is if he wasn't cleared from the end of last year or something to resume team activities, and then maybe he got cleared when he showed up. I have no clue, but definitely a bizarre situation.
So weird.
Greg Gabriel was insinuating that it was a procedural thing. You got to take his word with a little grain of salt, but that's kind of what he said. Let's see another source. SB Nation has it as a procedural issue. So it seemed like they might have. I wonder if they put him through an extra physical or something. Let's see. Yahoo, what do you have? Yahoo. No real explanation for what the reason is.
So in the SI article, it says active/PUP is for players who, due to football-related injuries, are unable to take part in training camp practices. Players can be taken off the active/PUP list and put on the active roster at any time prior to the start of the regular season, even after one practice, but they haven't had a practice yet. Then it goes on to say, so apparently Claypool will be unable to practice when players take the field on Wednesday. Obviously, that's not accurate. And then it says Claypool was working out last weekend with Fields and Mooney and other teammates. He was modeling in France, obviously. He did some youth football camps in Europe, which that's awesome. Would love to see the world talent start to expand in football like it does every other goddamn sport. Then it goes on to talk about what a horrible decision the trade was and blah, 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 blah. Anyway.
I like your theory, Chris, that it's something about an insurance policy.
It feels like some sort of transactional deal.
Yeah, no, that's a fascinating theory, and it sounds like it could be a legit team. I feel like stuff like that happens all the time with businesses.
Like, what could happen in one day? Like, there's no, like, even if he was late to report, right? Like, so they're not due to report until tomorrow.
Yeah. All right,
like
so
my guess is maybe he wasn't cleared from last year.
Yeah, here's another theory. This is from Irish Bears Show. Chase Claypool reported to camp early. This was likely to get a checkup required by the Bears. Teams are putting players on PUP lists until they pass their physical to be cleared for practice. So I'm guessing that's probably your best bet.
That sounds accurate. That sounds good.
I guess regardless of what happened, it's just something to keep your eye on during camp. I mean, it's something that's plagued him for a while, and we hope he could stay healthy. And that's that. I mean, it's just very weird.
It's a weird thing, him going on and off like that. Lucas, you're one of the points that we've talked about, is Claypool's continuous soft tissue injuries. And none of us are doctors on this show. I mean, Lucas, you're clearly the one who works out over there with your giant muscles. But
I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express last night.
Facts. My question, I guess, is like, can you ever get over those? Or like, what's the length you have to wait before you can try it again and be like, well, there was no risk of re-injury? Or is it just, it is what it is? And I mean, because I think one of your comments was like he had the entire summer to get his body ready for the season. Well, like, what if he did? What if he did everything he was supposed to do, and then went to retry it, and he fucking tore it again or re-injured it? Like, is it just his body is what it is, and he's just too much of an absolute athletic freak to deal with that? His tiny tendons can't handle it.
I wish I had a good answer for you. I mean, I just, from my knowledge of it, a lot of it is prevented through preventative maintenance, things like stretching and doing things that would prevent injury when you're working out, because it's not, you're not tearing anything, you're not breaking anything. It's just kind of like common wear and tear on your body. So my point with it is, I guess, like you said, Chris, if you're that athletic and at that point in your career, it seems like something that should be preventable, especially with enough time. But like we've seen this before with Alshon Jeffrey, right? Alshon Jeffrey suffered injuries from that all the time.
You know who else was always injured? Because I had him on my fantasy team all the time. Calvin Johnson.
Soft tissue injuries.
Always fucking hurt. It was a range of things. Seemed to be his ankles most of the time. 6'4", 260 or 6'6", 260-pound body couldn't be supported by them baby ankles. So that was his problem. But well, we wish Chase Claypool health and well-being throughout preseason and the season. Would love to at least see what this looks like with the three of them healthy, and then the bottom 4 to 10, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Apparently they signed another dude today. Lucas let me know. His name is Isaiah Ford. He is now your front runner for Camp Darling. I guarantee it. So yeah, that should be interesting.
I've never heard of him until today.
No idea, but I think he's pretty big, right? Like he's like 6'4", 215, kind of. He's a tiny guy. Oh, Joe knows. Oh, you don't know, Joe? You're making faces. You got a pen in your mouth. Can you unmute and speak, por favor?
Is he related to Henry Ford?
Small. I thought he was small. Let me double check this here real quick.
I think you're thinking of Simba Webster.
Oh, I am wrong. 6'2". 6'2", 200 pounds. Virginia Tech, Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins, and last year with the Indianapolis Colts practice squad.
Oh, you know what? I feel like he had like a huge game on the Dolphins one time.
I think he had like 2 touchdowns. I think I saw some blip where
he had
have like one of those.
He had a nice opportunity, and he did well in that opportunity. I remember that strictly from fantasy purposes because he was like a guy to pick up that week. But anyway, interesting name to add for sure. We talked about how many wide receivers are the Bears going to keep. This throws another guy into the mix. I still think they're keeping 7.
I still think this makes no fucking difference. This is just another camp
Well,
body.
camp
for,
body.
like Nathan Peterman to throw to. This is a scout receiver for.
No, I know. I'm just saying back to our point. It's like we already said they already have a lot of guys competing. They're just throwing another one in the mix here,
Right.
which is interesting.
You know, I was thinking one thing I thought of before the Claypool thing turned around so gosh darn fast was that it would have been a roster spot type thing. And the only reason I say that with like,
If they're
because,
signing someone,
if they were signing someone and it to the active roster, because like if it was just a camp guy, I don't think they even need to sign him or whatever. Or like, you know, like Isaiah Ford, I don't know if he even get grocery money for this. I mean, I don't know what he got, but that would have been the only reason I would have thought he would have been on PUP for, you know, maybe like a week if he truly was fine. And it was just a transactional thing, but like fucking less than 24 hours is so weird.
very weird and definitely different way of operating than we've seen the Bears previously do. I feel like we'll see.
So do we think that your 7th man is still Dante Pettis, or do you think Isaiah Ford has any chance to steal that 7th spot? Or Nsimba Webster?
Simba Webster is a practice squad darling. That guy lives on the practice squad. He ain't going anywhere.
Simba.
Him and Mufasa are hanging out on the practice squad.
I'm so excited for camp to start.
If you don't get that reference, go watch some Disney movies. Yeah, I'm fucking geeked for camp to start. You know, we've talked about players we're excited about in different position rooms. I think, you know, for me, I'll start it off just because I just thought of this question. Now we're just gonna do like a 1 through 5 most excited about players. Y'all ready? Top of your head. All right. So Justin number 1 for me. DJ Moore number 2. Tremaine Edmonds number 3. JJ number 4, because that motherfucker needs to produce this year, or he's probably gone, and that sucks because then we're kind of starting over. And then 5, I'm gonna throw out Robert Tonyan.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Lucas?
I like that. I'm not ready yet.
Joe's not
Okay.
ready.
Joe.
He's still flexing his lips.
Joe's ready.
No.
Joe's ready.
I've got 3. I'm trying to go 4 and 5. Obviously, 1, Justin Fields. 2, Jaquan Brisker. 3 is DJ Moore. 4, I'm feeling like a corner. I'm feeling like Jalen Johnson needs to prove himself. And 5, Cole Kmet.
I feel like you just picked other people like the opposite of like in the same position group I did, but just different.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to.
No, Brisker's your guy. Brisker is your dude. Joe, do you have a Brisker jersey yet?
I do not. We got to see what he wants to do this year, and maybe that might be the next purchase.
We're going to have to put that on your Christmas list, friend. Lucas?
All right.
For Luke.
Yeah, I mean, I got to agree with you guys. Number 1, we're going to go with Fields. It's too big of a year for him. We got to see it this year. Number 2, I am going to go with Tremaine Edmonds. I feel like that's another kind of obvious one, but seeing him out there leading the defense is going to be very exciting to me. 3, I'm going with someone that I was skeptical of, but I'm excited to watch in camp in Gervon Dexter.
Yeah, that's the other one. Yep.
I know Chris likes him. Super excited to just see what he could do, especially versus the Bears offense, which will feature 3 running backs at Fields. That'll be fun to watch. His high motor. 4. There's so many guys I'm excited for. I'm very excited for the young guys specifically. Number 4, I want to go with Tyler Scott. I want to see if he can kind of carve out a niche in the offense, whether it's wide receiver 3, ideally wide receiver 3, probably wide receiver 4. But like if he could beat out one of those guys or show enough that he could step up if, Claypool or Mooney goes down in that wide receiver 3 role. That'd be awesome. So super excited to see Tyler Scott out there. And number 5, I'm going to go with Tyreek Stevenson. I just feel like he's going to be very fun to watch. Physical dude. I think we're going to see some fun turnovers from him in camp. I think I kind of talked about it before. He does let guys get by him, but he's also going to get in your face, play some press coverage, and we're going to maybe see a lot of him versus DJ Moore or Mooney. So he's going to be tested right away, and I'm excited to see what he's got.
Can I do an honorable mention? Just one real quick. I think I'd like to see what Deontay Foreman's going to do, how he's going to fit into the backfield.
I was thinking that too.
If he's going to take over RB1 or if it's just going to be like RB1A and 1B or what it is, I think he presents a very interesting piece in the backfield.
That might be one of the only true camp battles is RB1-2 with Herbert and Foreman, which I don't think the loser is really B or 2. He's B. Roshan's going to be interesting. Like all the rookies for me are always honorable mentions. That's always 5A because I'll always love the rookie class, regardless of if they suck or not. I'm so damn hesitant about like certain positions that the Bears draft though. So that's why I'm trying not to get too hyped on Tyler Scott. I don't know if because I was thinking about like the Claypool thing, right? And how everybody's pissed off that we lost the draft pick. And like, I really just have moved past any potential loss or whatever the fuck. Like, who cares? But like Anthony Miller's the only thing I could really come up with as like a comparable loss and would have drafted or whatever. Like we were all so geeked up about that pick. I mean, I didn't even know you guys then, but man, I remember my son was like 18 months or 2 years, I think my firstborn. And I was watching the draft on my phone while he was taking a bath in the bathroom. And I just remember freaking out when they took Anthony Miller. I was so geeked up, and then he sucked. He sucked, dude. I mean, he flashed a bunch, but then he wasn't any good. And so I just don't want that to happen with Tyler Scott. It's my only fear. But I'm super excited about Dexter and Pickens. And Luke got me pumped up about Stevenson, even though he wasn't my corner that I would have taken. Luke's got me pretty jazzed about that guy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And, I don't know about you guys, but last year from what I remember, I think I kind of enjoyed how Eberflus structured his practices in camp and stuff. It was, talked about it before, way more organized than like what we've seen from Matt Nagy and the whole 9 yards. So everything about it, I'm super stoked for. Have they released an episode of Hard Knocks yet?
They do that whole double play thing, right? Where they run like a run play to one side and then Hand fields the ball and he throws the ball the other way. So they like get 2 plays out of 1 snap type situation.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's always fascinating.
Yeah. Good concept too.
To answer your question, Luke, the debut episode of Hard Knocks will be, looks like Tuesday, August the 8th.
God, that seems forever ago. Or forever from now. Jesus.
I did see a small clip of Aaron Rodgers evading pressure and throwing a sidearm strike to Garrett Wilson in the corner. And I was like, whoa. Garrett Wilson is going to be a problem this year.
Does Aaron Rodgers still have it, Luke?
I think he feels like he has a lot to prove, but you never really know what guy you're going to get on a weekly basis with him anymore. I feel like last year in Green Bay, he kind of stunk, but he also wasn't really focused. So hard to tell.
He gave no F's.
Yeah, we got 2 days until our camp opens. Kirk Cousins has been getting a lot of love for his kind of toughness last season on quarterback, whatever the quarterback show for Netflix. So you get a lot of love for Kirk Cousins. Obviously, the Lions had a little bit of a scare with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson knee thing. Ends up not really being a major thing. You saw Dan Campbell's shitty up downs. The Packers just signed the XFL.
They weren't up downs. They were half ups.
Oh, okay,
Or
yes.
half downs, whatever they're called.
They were terrible. They were awful. And then the Packers just signed the USFL MVP and Alex Magoo to back up Jordan Love.
What is he?
That's week 4 starter.
Mr. Magoo from the Birmingham Stallions.
Is that actually his name?
Yes, Alex Magoo.
Chris, I was watching that. Chris sent me a video the other day of the all college football name team.
That was
Some of the guys on that list were absolutely hysterical.
Did they have Dakotas Crawford on there?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I was. It was like that episode of Key and Peele.
Oh my god!
I'm like, dude, I was dying. I love
the construction noise in that.
Yeah,
the jackhammer.
Yeah.
Well, my whole point with all that is like our division. I mean, yeah, the Vikings, I guess, are probably and the Lions, but like, they're not good. They're not good football teams. Like, it's wide open for us. We're 2 days away. I'm seeing 11-6, and I'm seeing winning the division.
Whoa!
Come on, the Lions suck.
I don't think the Lions suck, but I don't think they're ready to win yet. There's a difference.
All right,
they're not ready to win because they went out and had a bunch of gambling problems. It's just that's like you figure out a different way for the Lions to Lions every single year. And this is it. Oh, the other great story was Jordan. Did you guys talk about I like zoned out for a minute there, but Jordan Addison doing 140 in his whatever stupid car that he shouldn't have bought as a rookie. The reason came out today because he was rushing home due to a dog emergency.
Do you believe him?
85 miles over the speed limit.
I think he just had to poop.
Wow. I think detailing your car after you shit yourself would have been cheaper than that ticket's going to be. No?
No, I agree. Yes. Oh, you do that? And like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you're rushing home with a pet. Like, okay, if the dog was in the car and you're going to the vet, all right, I believe you. But
the dog called him up on the phone.
It's just one of those like bark cams. You just
the most plausible.
Come get me.
What kind of an excuse can I give that everybody's still going to think that I'm a good guy?
You are a good guy, Joe Gaither.
Oh, no. I'm just saying Jordan Addison's like, twisting it to make sure that he's still, look, he had a reason to go 140.
Damn, dude, 140, man. Can you imagine going that fast? Oof.
And the traffic cam was pretty cool. I mean, the traffic cam, he stopped as soon as the cop came up behind him. It was a smooth stop, but it was quick.
I am shocked a cop could get behind him. It must have taken him a long time to catch up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is fast. Real fast. So that was a fun story. So Joe, I missed what you were talking about, or the half ups, the 3 downs. What the fuck were you talking about? The up downs?
Dan Campbell was doing there. I don't think they're as bad as Joe is saying because they're like up downs, except for instead of standing all the way up, you're still hunched over before you hit the ground again. So like rapid fire. So like instead of like jumping up at the end, you kind of just stand up halfway and then go back down immediately.
Yeah, that's kind of what my up downs looked like in high school. I wasn't trying to die out there. But
well, for somebody who's all about hard work, Dan Campbell biting your kneecaps, do the damn up down the right way. Leader. You suck at football strategy. All you do is lead. So go be a leader. Show them how to do an up down.
This is a fair statement.
You suck at football strategy.
His MO is I can inspire the team. He's never going to out-scheme you. He's never going to put together some awesome game plan. His whole thing is, we're going to get you fired up. We're going to drag you into the fourth quarter. We're going to tread water more than the other team. And when they get tired, we're going to drown their ass.
That shit was funny. So are we giving the offense credit to the OC? Like, was his name Bob Johnson or Bill
Oh
Johnson?
yeah,
Some
he's a
basic
good
white boy
Ben
name?
Ben Johnson. He's a very
Ben
good
Johnson.
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but isn't Campbell was a tight end, right? Wasn't he? I mean, is he?
Yeah.
Does
He
he
played
get
for
any
the
credit for
Saints.
the offense? I'm asking Joe. Does he get any credit for the offense? No.
No.
Well, they did suck
for
pretty
me.
bad until he gave up play calling duties. He gave them up pretty quickly after they started.
That's some leadership. I'm not trying to be
No,
Dan Campbell's biggest fan, but I'm trying
Joe's
to.
being a homer. He's decent.
I'm just being a turd.
But Chris,
Oh, I love biting kneecaps and treading water, dude. Those are two hilarious stories.
well, I was gonna say if the Lions don't make the playoffs this year, how long do you think his charade can last though with that kind of philosophy? If he doesn't, like, I really feel like the Lions need to prove it this year, or else, like, yeah, his ass is going to be in the fire if they don't make the playoffs soon.
I mean, if they don't make the
we got
playoffs,
a brand new
soon,
pair of pants, and it just has a little bit of dust on it. Just a little bit of dust on it. All we got to do is give it one good whoo, shake out that dust, and we'll have that brand new. We'll be winners. That was his worst analogy ever.
that was another one. Oh my
Never
god,
not
man!
heard that.
Dude, Joe, your memory for horrible press conferences is
Ugh.
unreal. My other favorite one is how he drinks 2 44-ounce coffees a morning.
It's not enough caffeine.
He must be pooping a lot, like a lot.
He's probably going 140 to the right to the bathroom after work every day.
Dude,
No, see, Dan Campbell is a dude that would follow the speed limit and definitely shit himself. Oh, it makes you more of a man.
Oh, I mean, to Luke's point, I mean, the act wears thin quickly if you're not winning. So I mean,
It hasn't yet, though. But I'm saying if they don't get there this year, then yes, I do think there's only so much further that act can go until you start winning.
is Jared Goff going to take him there? Jared Goff and half a season of Jameson Williams.
He was actually one of the better QBs in the NFC last year.
He
That's
was.
not saying too much. And it's not like he did anything crazy either. He put up very good numbers, but like it's not like he was like super clutch or whatever.
I'm on
Hendon
Ron
Hooker.
St. Brown getting a lot of love, preseason love.
he's got that St. Brown blood, dude.
So we do have something else came out today. The bottom 10 of the NFL top 100 came out today.
Oh,
Number 91 or 90 to 100. Trevor Lawrence is on there. Justin Fields was not on there. But a few weeks ago, we saw the clip of Nick Bosa talking about him on what looked like a clip of NFL films. So do you guys think Fields is going to be in there, or do you think he's not included this year?
That wasn't a couple weeks ago. That was like a few days ago, wasn't it?
It wasn't long ago. Maybe like a week or two ago. But I thought it was interesting. He wasn't even in the bottom 10. So either they have him higher than Lawrence or he's not in there at all.
Oof. That's a tough call.
Lawrence just had better help last year. I don't know that he was actually better.
Lawrence was really good last year.
It's interesting to see how. Yeah, but there was also a stretch where he was really bad. Because you know why I remember this is because I had that Jaguars to win the AFC South bet, and that looked fantastic after the first 2 weeks, and then looked absolutely terrible for like 6 weeks in a row, and then looked great again for like 8 weeks. So I don't know. He had a very up and down season. Not that Fields was any better. I'm not comping him in that sense, but it's interesting to hear how players view other players as opposed to like how we in the media view players. So
players love Fields.
Yeah, because he's so hard to defend. Obviously the accuracy issues aside, but like he is so hard to defend.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Luke, I don't think he'll be on there. There's too many. I don't know. It's the Bears, man. I don't get no fucking love.
What was the? You remember that clip though? What do we think that was for then? Like it definitely seemed like it was going in something like that.
I mean, so what if Nick Bosa had him in the top 100 and whoever else they interviewed had him in the top 100 and they created the highlight reel and the rest of the players weren't in on
Yeah,
it. So,
you're right. I don't know.
It could just be part of the show. They just film a bunch of shit. They put highlight reels together, and then when all the votes are tallied, then they put the show out. I mean, they have to put that together pretty quickly, I would imagine. So they might have all that stuff already put together. Who knows? That's all I had to say about that.
Well. We are July 24th, 2 days away from camp.
This time next week, there's going to be like clips to analyze and, hopefully some roster moves and no injuries to discuss. It's going to be great. We're like right on the precipice of preseason. How many days away are from the first game? Titans in Soldier Field, August 12th. Like, we're there, guys.
That's the first preseason game?
Yes, sir.
That's going to be an interesting team this year.
1, 2.
I think they're going to be horrible.
Less than 3 weeks away from the Titans at Soldier Field.
I just don't understand the Hopkins signing. Like,
it's so random.
And signing Simmons to that big ass Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Who was
Jeffrey Simmons.
Jefferson, yeah, to that big ass extension. Like everybody thought they were out, and starting to head into tank mode, and then they do that. I don't get it.
And the rest of the roster is pretty bad.
Isn't their defense pretty solid though?
Their defense and run game's all right, but I mean, their skill positions. The skill positions and Hopkins is pretty bad. Who the hell is going to play quarterback for him this year? Is it going to be Levis?
I don't think so.
No, it's going to be Tannehill.
They still have him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And was it Malik Willis? Wasn't he on that? Wasn't he on that squad?
It's Malik Willis, but Malik's going to get bumped probably to number 3, and he may end up being a cut. Even after getting drafted last year, what, 3rd, 4th round?
I think 4th.
So the other day I was thinking about this. Where do you guys think the Bears' skill positions rank in relation to the rest of the league? Like not counting quarterback, like strictly running back, tight end, wide receiver.
Number 1.
I was just going through it in my head, and I was just like, holy shit, there are some really bad, 4 or 5 guys on certain teams. Like the Titans before they had Hopkins, skill positions I thought were awful.
Very bad.
I know Derrick Henry's a beast, but their wide receivers are so bad.
I looked through every NFL depth chart the other day, and
the Panthers are down there.
One of the things that we've been focusing on is wide receiver, 4 and 5 and 6 or whatever on the Bears. And I know it's because it's the Bears that we know who these guys are. But I don't know who half the league's number 3 is, dude. I don't know their names. And I play fantasy football. I should know their names. And you would think I would just because of hearsay and waiver wires and shit like that. But damn. Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong. Claypool being a number 3
is nice.
It's huge. I mean,
really nice.
All things being positive, that's a really good number 3.
Luke, did you have us in the upper half, the upper 16?
I honestly didn't get too far with it until I started to just get really fascinated with the teams at the bottom. But yeah, I think the Bears are definitely out of the bottom 10. I think they're really hovering around league average, if I'm being honest with you. I don't have an exact number, but I was just thinking bottom 10 teams, and the Bears weren't one of them.
I mean, the Lions have a better skill positions than we do going into the year. I'll give you that. But Justin Jefferson, what's next outside of Justin Jefferson for the Vikings?
It doesn't matter. I think Justin Jefferson alone makes them better.
Okay, all right.
But Jordan Addison too, I think will be solid, and they always have a good run.
Hawkinson,
yeah. Titans skills are very good. I mean, the Vikings skills are very good. Packers though.
Do you put Aaron Jones and whoever, no. Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, that combo?
Bottom 10.
Okay.
Wow. AJ Dillon was terrible last year. I'll say that, but Aaron Jones is very good.
I just don't put too much stock into running, like, unless you're like a superstar running back. Like, I could, yeah, they're fine backs. I just think their wide receivers outside of Watson are like, the Packers are a team that I feel like has a wide variance, like the Bears too, on offense. Like, they have a lot of really young guys playing for them. So on paper, we don't know their names yet, but they could definitely, sprout into some talented players for them.
Luke, would you rather?
But like,
okay, here you go. Would you?
The Patriots' skill positions are freaking horrible.
Ramondre Stevenson's not though.
Yeah, I feel bad. Poor Mac Jones' wide receiver one is Juju. The people in New England are like convinced that they're going to be good this year. I'm like, the defense is going to be good, but like,
they think Bill O'Brien's going to fix their ass.
they do, dude. They didn't sign anybody. It's like they have Juju, Ramondre. Apparently, they're trying to sign Dalvin Cook, which is like just super fucking random. Like, why would you do that? They should have signed Hopkins. Really, that's where Hopkins should have went. And that would have been like, okay. But Juju's their number one. And then it's
Jones
like
can't get him the ball, dude. Jones can't throw that ball that deep. So that's why they didn't do that.
There's some really bad teams. But
all right, would you rather have the Bears, in the wild card and bounce right out in that first round, Luke, or would you rather have the Packers finish last in the league, like last in the NFC in the division?
Bears get bounced out of the wild card. I don't want the Packers to have a high pick. I want them right around 6 or 7 wins where they're just good enough to not make the playoffs.
3 weeks
do that.
3 weeks. 3 weeks away until we see them Titans.
Will Levis. We're going to see Levis, hopefully. A Levis versus Tyson Bagent game. You think who's going to start the preseason game for the Bears? Is it going to be PJ Walker?
Probably.
I'm not going to lie. Actually, like, the Bears offense in preseason with PJ Walker is probably going to be pretty sick for some of them other camp teams.
Yes, it will. He's going to be running around.
PJ Walker's kind of dope. I'm not going to lie.
He's going to have like 70 yards rushing and like right at 210 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Bears will put up 28, 31 points. And you're going to hear everybody going, we should give this guy a chance.
Yeah, I sure hope not.
God,
you know it.
Well, I don't have too much more to say tonight. What do you guys got? Do you guys got anything left in your mind, or forever?
Nothing for me.
Until we get some action.
We didn't say a single word about the offensive line tonight, and I think that's a pretty remarkable moment considering all the focus we've had on the offensive line throughout the offseason. 2 days away from camp opening, and I think that's really where it all begins and ends for the offense. Justin Fields will have a great season if the offensive line can play, league average. And if that happens, I'm pumped. I'm excited.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how I completely forgot about him, but my honorable mention for player to watch at camp is going to be Darnell Wright, just to see how the young man does. You are right, though. Good point, Joe. No offensive linemen on our lists.
Dr. Krugman, any final thoughts for the people?
No.
Bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Put up a fight with the might so fearlessly. We'll never forget the way you threw the nation. With your T formation, bear down, Chicago Bears, and let them know why you're wearing the crown. You're the pride and joy of Illinois, Chicago Bears, bear down.